to the introductory level members. It's been a little while since I put out a video and had a lot of new people join us in the past couple of weeks. A lot of you had the same message. You want to learn about the methodology and how it works. And looking at the turmoil that we've been seeing in the markets in the last couple of weeks, this is a good opportunity to see how Drummond Geometry puts all that stuff into perspective. Because remember, we're dealing with what? We're dealing with PL dot pushes and PL dot refreshes. And we're framing that in multiple time periods. So in this case, we're going to be looking at a weekly as the focus time period and see what the higher time periods do, the lower time periods do, and what the Drummond Geometry, what our methodology, how it, how it showcases information to make it a little bit easier to understand what's taking place. So the Drummond trader remains detached and can anticipate what's going on without getting caught up in all the rhetoric out there and what the news, what the talking heads might be saying about what's going on. This is an energy flow, and it can be measured, and we can measure it very, very accurately. So let's get started. So as I said, we're using a weekly time focus, and this back here is what has been the all-time high so far in the NASDAQ. And we're looking at this and this move down here, return back inside the envelope, and is the downward move over, or is it just getting started, or what kind of bounce do we expect? If we move out onto a monthly chart, this is the most recent swing low over here. This is our high. And now we see with the monthly chart, we've broken well below the monthly envelope bottom. Things are getting interesting here. And now if I zoom into a daily chart, we have the high, and then we have a lot more noise. And what do we see? Well, we see, the daily oversold, moving up inside the envelope, or up above the envelope in a correction, and now moving back down below the envelope and cycling back up here. So the daily is in congestion. And let me put some tools on this and see how Drummond Geometry makes sense out of this for you. All right, I apologize for this being a little bit blurry. There's a 1-year chart on the left, quarterly chart on the right, and what kind of information do we see here? And of course, this isn't available in the introductory level membership. This is a gold level software, and that is the yearly PL dot envelope bottom, PL dot envelope top. This is a 5-year, and what we see, well, we see the yearly still sloping upwards. We see the 5-year moving up. Hang on a second. On the yearly chart, we see some Drummond lines. If you recall, that is a 5-1 down, and that is exactly where the market stopped. And so far, where's the market gone? Straight down to a yearly PL dot refresh. So if you're trading with Drummond Geometry, and we're in April, you had the yearly PL dot, the yearly 5-1 down, you had that information at the end of December last year. So you know what's on your chart, and when price gets up in that area, you know what to start paying attention to. Now we move over here to the quarterly chart on the right, and we're starting to see quarterly PL dots losing their push and starting to roll over. Another big indication what's going on, or something big to pay attention to, is now we've entered into quarterly congestion. So in Drummond terms, you have 3 closes on one side of the PL dot. That's a definition of a trend. And then when the bar closes on the opposite side of the PL dot, that's the congestion entrance bar. So that is the market taking a pause and trying to find new equilibrium. It could be the end of a trend run. Prices have been going up for quite some time in the stock indexes, so this could be the end of a run and setting up for a yearly PL dot or lower. So this is something to pay attention to. And now we see a Drummond line. This one is called a 6-5. So in the old days, the PL dots were drawn in between the bars. The software puts them on top of the bars, but the 6 lines are drawn as if the PL dots are still in the middle. And so from the top of the previous bar through the middle where the PL dot would be, down to the oncoming bar, and that's called a 6-5. And that's resistance right now. That resistance is located right at the quarterly envelope bottom. So there's a bit of a struggle going on. We have price coming off the yearly PL dot and up here in the resistance area, the 6-5 down and the envelope bottom. And there is one last Drummond line to be drawn here, and that is a 5-1 up, or I'm sorry, it's a 5-2 up. So we have some support and some resistance, and that's where we're oscillating right now, right in this area. So what do? Well, we look at the lower time periods to see if the support or the resistance in this area is strong or weak, if it's holding or breaking. So now I've zeroed in a little bit and zoomed in, and we have the monthly coming down nicely. And you see how these dots were cresting and rolling over. So that's an indication when they started losing steam, up here, something to pay attention to. Price is up above the envelope, way above the envelope, closes back inside the envelope, stays inside the envelope, and then a congestion entrance bar. That's a pretty good indication that something's going on in terms of the upward momentum has slowed or has stopped, and maybe these PL dots are going to start pushing down. Now we zoom in here on the weekly chart. Way down here, close up above the yearly PL dot. So closed at the PL dot the week before, closed above the PL dot. So the yearly PL dot's holding, held here. It's holding this week. And again, we're struggling with the resistance from the quarterly envelope bottom. What we'd like to know is this area of resistance strong or weak? And we get this information from, first of all, from the focus time period. You can see the PL dot patterns. And you can see how the PL dots are starting to move sideways, and price has moved up above the PL dot. So now the PL dot is supporting price right in the area of this higher time period resistance. So that's an indication that it is weak and it is likely to break. And then for more information, we move into the daily chart. And as you can see, the daily chart is a bit of a mess, quite a few gaps. But the important thing here is, where is price going? What is price doing? And when we see price moving high into the envelope structure as it did on this day, closing up above the PL dot, gapping up on the next day, and then coming back down and closing near the envelope top. And this is the day. This is Wednesday afternoon. This will be Thursday's bar. So right now, it looks like the trend is turned up in the daily chart. The support area in the daily chart is from that envelope top down to the PL dot, and expecting this bar probably to come down and retrace into this area, and if it holds, and then maybe continue some trend back to the upside. So that's how that looks right now. So let me just recap real quick. This is what we're focusing on. Is that resistance, is it going to be strong or is it going to be weak? And at this point, it looks like it's breaking, again, based on the PL dots pushing up on the weekly chart and the daily chart. What are our targets? You have weekly envelope top, yearly envelope top, and quarterly PL dot. So there is a lot of higher time period resistance up above. So this may be a bounce and a bigger move down. This is how you put it together. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section. love to help you flush this out and make this methodology really sing for you. It's a little bit of work doing this with the introductory level software. However, if you're focusing on one market and you take the time, there's something very tactile about, drawing the lines in and figuring your Drummond lines, your support and resistance areas, and slowing things down so you get a feel for what's going on. Look forward to hearing from you, and see you next time.